right, we are here with Two Wheels of Freedom podcast number 109 with Rob Buydos. If you don't know who he is, you're probably not that deep into the industry. What?
You froze up for a second, at least on my end.
Okay.
And the race is going in the background.
You can still hear it? They're not going to be able to hear that online, Nick.
All right, I'm just throwing it out there.
I'll unplug the computer totally. So now we have a sick intro for the show. It's usually how that goes.
How long are we going to be on for?
Normally we do about an hour.
Okay,
So
that's cool. I got some dinner coming, so if I have to hop up and grab it real quick, I'm bacheloring it out. Everybody went to a family thing this weekend,
all right, that's fine.
so I got to hop up and grab it real quick. Just
Okay.
a dude bringing it to the door.
No problem. Go ahead, get it. We'll do the.
Don't want to be disrespectful, the show,
Yeah, you're good.
This is a flexible podcast,
This is
Yeah.
flexible.
not too serious.
You already seen that Nick just screwed up the intro, so
It happens, Clint.
it does happen, doesn't it?
We're recording, right? This is live.
Yeah, we're live now. You ask me that all the time. We're on the internet.
Sometimes he says, I thought we were live. Guess what? We weren't live,
We're live this time.
to be fair.
Rob, what's up? How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me on the show. You guys have we've been trying to hook up now for a couple days, and finally it worked out. So pumped to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to get you on right after Moto Fite Klub, just because that was all the buzz. So I figured we'd, at least get you on now. You have another event actually coming up this weekend, correct?
Yeah, actually, ever since that first event, the phone's been ringing off the hook, and we actually have two events coming up this weekend, and a few other really unique kind of motorsports, two-wheel, four-wheel, everything. So yeah, we've got some crazy things coming, from monster trucks to moto to flat track to. We have a barbecue fight club coming out as well, so that's going to be something unique. The Kansas City Professional Beef Commission reached out to us, and they wanted to have a little beef barbecue throwdown because, so many of the state fairgrounds are shut down, and that's kind of their venues, and they're going to do a little bit of a different format, and they're going to bring it in and throw down and get the belts out for a champion.
Awesome. That's pretty much every fair I know Northeast here is done. They've shut us down, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So definitely the idea you have of producing some live streaming shows, is the way to go right now.
It's unique if you're going to watch television, how everything is. You flip around and you kind of look for things that you would like. And with these streaming platforms now, you just kind of plug into what you dig and you find a channel that works for you. And this opportunity is the Fite TV, that FITE.TV. Started off as combat, but it's morphing real hard into motorsports, and we're kind of a leader in that. And we're bringing quite a bit of new content out, giving people a different way to watch it, and the performers a different way to be part of the production as well. So it's really a lot of unique stuff we're trying to do, and we're trying to do the entertainment. I don't think you're ever going to see us try to do the 40-man gate and the 30+ too. I mean, there's people that do that are at an incredibly high level. We're kind of more on the entertainment side of things.
Well, and that's fine, right? You can find your own avenue and move over. Obviously, like you said, to compete with, pro motocross or supercross, those things are already done, and those people have a hold of those fields and years of experience. So it's hard to throw your hat in that ring. But, if you step to the side and you kind of come up with a new little avenue, which you totally have, then that's how you do it.
Yeah, we got some pit bike things coming. So, we have a lot of different avenues, a lot of different things that people, they talk about the culture of the whole two-wheel and four-wheel world. We'll talk about them, but sometimes you don't get to see them. A lot of the television programs don't really go after that real niche stuff. And I think we have a chance to do it and bring some good content out to the world, some interesting things, and we're excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So you like I said in the intro, you've been around the moto community pretty much forever, right? I know that the Ohio area here or there, everybody knows who you are, and a lot of people, in regular Supercross and stuff.
It's funny at home, go hang out somewhere, with my wife and kids, and nothing really outlandish happens. I haven't really worked around the Youngstown area for, oh gosh, probably the last 20 some years. Where, you follow Supercross, Motocross, Moto GP. They had us doing on the Harley side, Sturgis and Daytona and all that stuff. So all of my work was always in different states, and would go to Anaheim 1 and go to Chili's down there off of Catella and, hey man, what's up? And my wife, how do people in Anaheim know who you are, but no one in Boardman knows who you are? I'm like, hey, that's just kind of how it goes. So it's sort of funny, but yeah, I've been around a long time. I always had a passion for it as a kid growing up, and just like everybody rode and raced, and that wasn't going to work out as a way to make a living. And Big Dave Coombs gave me a shot to be an announcer and a bunch of other things like that. And next thing you know, we're traveling around the country, Parts Unlimited, Thor, guys like that. I've worked with them for a couple decades now. So that's kind of been how it's gone. And I've been pretty fortunate enough to be right there with some really cool stuff.
And you're big in the pit bike world. If I'm not...
Yeah, I mean, when we were at the Nationals years ago, we were all there. And, when you're at a race, I mean, obviously you want to ride, if you like motorcycles, you want to ride the things. And it really was pretty impossible for us to do it. And then there was the evening, and we got together. There was a bunch of industry at the time that was always camping and staying there. And we come up with our pit bike national championships. And the next thing you know, we were getting Carmichael Stewart, Chad Reed, all the boys were bringing over their mules and all their mechanics and watching us. And heck, we were getting the biggest crowd as, we were getting a nice sized crowd. If you were at the race, you were over watching us.
Yeah.
And, it went for quite a while, and just like anything, it faded out, but man, is it back in a big way right now. Sorry about that.
You also didn't you do the Pit Bike of Nations?
Oh, yeah, Club? Sure. I started a riot at a motocross race. Sure. Yeah. We did that. We did pit bike racing at Chicagoland. We are going to do one this year, the Monster Mini Master of the Pit. That's going to be coming out. We have Carson Brown coming to do it, who, if you follow the mini bike thing, you know how accomplished he is on it. And it's a chance to bring him out. But when they redid the Supercross schedule, the event was going to be June 11th, I believe. But he's racing on that day, so we're going to have to reschedule it. We're looking for a date, though. But we'll keep you posted, because there's a little bit more conversation when we can do it with we need a crowd for that.
Okay. When do you know when they're loosening up in Ohio on crowds?
Too bad. I mean, the stuff that we were doing with Moto Fite Klub and even Flat Track and it is no crowd. But the pit bike thing, I actually need competitors. So we're just going to be a little mindful, make sure that, we don't want to put anybody in harm's way for, whether it's a hassle from, not being able to do it. We're just going to make sure we put a little more investigation into that event. Right. The other ones I feel we're confident with, because we're less than 10 people in our gathering, no crowd, very minimal track crew and a TV production crew, and that's about it.
Right. Yeah. So how did you get all those guys together? At first, I like the way you guys put it out, because there was nothing about it, and then all of a sudden all these big guys start posting this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's not spelt right. I'm like, now he's got Villapoto, Stanton, and Brad. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Pastrana's going. He's got a 500. Like, it's a pretty epic setup.
We were on a phone call, and the phone call we kept adding people, and before you knew it, we had enough people to have a Zoom meeting. Isn't that the new way things are done now?
Right here.
And we had a Zoom meeting
right now.
And, the ideas got thrown around real fast and furious, and we said, if people are really, really having a hard time figuring out how to put together some kind of racing, and I get it, they were trying to incorporate championship points and things. We were just trying to do some entertainment. These guys said, we'll do it. We'll drive there. We'll come real incognito. I was surprised. The vehicle of choice was a Suburban. There was like 4 of those there.
That's hilarious.
Pulling ratty ass trailers. Like these guys had bust out trailers.
Did
they come in?
Where'd they get
unloaded
these
their
trailers
bike,
from?
did their deal. We had a couple funny ass stories, drank some beer, laughed our asses off, high-fived, and when the auction was done, found out we generated over $50,000 for like road to recovery and cystic fibrosis and goggles for docs. So, that was definitely worth it. And
yeah,
it was
awesome.
kind of it was a little accomplishment. We're all pretty proud of ourselves and it worked out well.
When it first happened and I saw the fire pit chat pictures, I'm going, why are they someplace it's so cold?
I mean,
well, it makes sense now knowing where you're from.
Like, and even with the Flat Track Fight Club and things, we don't have a sponsor. So, I mean, anyone that's ever put on a race, from the track rental to the track crew, the insurance, the production, I mean, everything. We were responsible for every part of it. So we needed to find a place that didn't exactly fit the typical mold. I think if you have a big building and you have to rent it and there's empty seats, kind of looks unfortunate. This place has never had a fan or a starting gate till 11 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. We had a starting gate brought in. So It was really a raw backyard kind of brawl kind of fair. And it worked out well for us. We were pretty excited about it.
No, that is a good setup. Like you said, it doesn't have bleachers and stuff all around, so it doesn't look empty. Yet it's an awesome track, and it's a really good facility.
Oh, I got to give a massive shout out to Timmy Boca and Dave Bianco. Without those two guys, none of this. I mean, Timmy was head and shoulders just killing it. So, to Tim Boca, I thank you, Dave Bianco, for, when you come to somebody and go, hey, I need to use your facility, you got to dress it up real nice. And these guys are coming, and you're like, what? And they're like, come on. And you're like, yeah, just them, no one else. And just them and no one else. We did it sort of kind of like the whole secret. I mean, no one pulled in with really a big, a semi or anything that really said, hey, look, we're going to a pretty high-end motocross race,
Yeah.
And then all the gear and the helmets and the championship belts. I mean, that was some pretty unique stuff. These guys were digging it.
Yeah, absolutely. Timmy is definitely a good find for you right there, because he does all the monster jams, and I think he's done supercrosses, and he knows how to prep everything like show worthy. So I mean, I think it was a good combination of track in the middle of kind of nowhere and a dude that can shape everything perfect and have it look really good.
No, it was, I mean, like I said, I couldn't thank him enough for the hard work that he and Dave, and how they had the place ready to go. And as the day went on, the guys, well, can we do this? Boom, right there, fix it. Can we do this? Absolutely. It was no, I don't know how they jumped on the equipment. They made immediate changes. If these guys wanted a rut fixed or something a little steeper for Travis to backflip, they just did it, and man, when you got a track crew like that, it's easy to dream bigger than most,
Yeah, and I'm sure on their end, only having to deal with what was it, 6 riders or something like that is much easier than
we had a little more than that. We had one rider that unfortunately wasn't able to compete, Ivan Tedesca. We were at 10, so we had 9.
Okay,
but it was
still more manageable.
And Ivan was there in spirit, so he's part of the team for sure. So
yeah,
but yeah, he's all better too, so that's even better.
But I'm saying it's easier to manage with only 10 guys versus 40 or 80 or whatever at a.
Oh, I mean,
and listen to everybody.
For how we did it, the spot that we were able to find, the fact that it was just these guys, and obviously during this pandemic, I believe is what they're calling it, or crisis in America, if you're getting your city ransacked, those are the two labels as to what's going on. I don't know, you want to do it where you kind of come in and can get it done and not have to deal with trying to make somebody forced into an environment they don't want to or not comfortable in. And the riders at that time, I don't think we're going, hey, what we want to do is shake hands about 75,000 times right now. So everything worked out moving forward, we're probably going to keep the crowd limited. It just is easier for us to keep the shots clean and stuff. And, watching it at home with your friends, that's a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were just at Trevor Vine's place.
Yeah.
And you actually know Trevor really well also.
Me and Trevor from wherever spent a lot of time in box vans.
That's how the motocross industry feels about Ohio, huh? It's just wherever.
I don't know. I think
not motocross, freestyle. Sorry, freestyle motocross.
Well, the freestyle movement. I mean, there was it was kind of funny. I don't know. Trevor probably told you you ever hear of the Cantfield Fair?
He actually
Did he tell you that story.
We actually did, I think, on the podcast, because I know Trevor from doing freestyle. That's also how I know Timmy.
Well, this was before freestyle.
Well,
this
told
would have
me
been
how he got into doing the shows and stuff.
So, Pro Action Suspension Motors and stuff, right? George Quay and DJ and them. I worked for them way back in the 90s, and I mean, they really did give me a heck of an opportunity to travel the whole world, do all whether it was the Dirt Rider 24-hour test or motocross tests, or build get the bikes ready, all the trick parts and this was back when magazines were doing bike tests constantly. And it was really a good time. So Trevor and I were working together, and he was kind of the rider. I was kind of looking after all the things at the Nationals, and we were at Troy, and he was just kind of struggling. Things just weren't going his way. He was wasn't making a lot of money, racing nationals and stuff like that. And we were down there, and he was riding, and he was just in a bad mood, just like not happy. Things weren't going good. And you know how, like, when somebody's bitching and they're walking up to the line, maybe if they're just in that mood, you just egg them on to, like, just
be mad,
just go to the next level. Then if you want to be pissed, then get pissed. And he was bitching about couldn't make any money. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, and he kept saying, all I want to do is just do tricks. That's all I want to do is go bust tricks. I said, well, you look like an idiot if you're doing it in third. I said, you go out, and these were those 4-lap sprint races. And I said, every lap that you're leading, I can't remember the name of the big, it's like a triple jump at Troy there. What the hell was it called?
Wasn't the Widowmaker, was it?
Huh?
Wasn't the Widowmaker, was it?
Maybe that's what it was.
I think that's what it was called.
It would have been right to the dead left of the starting line. You know what I mean? Like, off. Anyways, let's just call it that for now. And I said, every lap you're in the lead, you can do a trick over that thing. That'll make you feel better if you're out front. I said, but if you're second, you can't do a trick. Well, he whole shots the thing, wins the thing, and he's, what were they? Saran wraps and heel clickers, and then stale fish saran wrap, and I don't even think they were doing seat grabs and stuff at the time. It was all just kind of foot and bike tricks and stuff. And he won the thing. I remember he beat Nick Way in that.
Doing tricks?
Yeah. And just came back, and he was just out of his mind. And it was way towards the end of the year. And he was like, yeah. And, so we went to a local fair race. And by the time we got to the fair race, I want to think he had a YZ400.
This is the story.
He had gone from he was riding Honda, the aluminum frame Hondas that looked real cool, but didn't work so good. But he got this 400 Yamaha, and we went to this fair. We bought all black plastic for it, and we made it a Harley Davidson. And he won the thing and was doing tricks, and it was a monster truck show. And these people went nuts that he was on a Harley Davidson in their eyes. Sounded like one, black, Definitely wasn't a two-stroke. So for them, that was it. And they called, and I think they sent him out on the Warp Tour after that. And that was when he kind of quit being a motocross racer and became a freestyler.
Yeah, he had told me the story where he said somebody had called you and just been like,
Jansen,
you got this guy on jumping a Harley or something,
and he beat everybody. How did the hell this happen? Like, what's he on, a Sportster? I'm like, he's on a YZ400. Well, that's not a Harley. I said, it is. It's got black plastic and Harley stickers on it.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. I said, yeah, thanks. So, been always trying to look at things out of a different perspective forever. So yeah, and I normally do not like black dirt bikes, but that one was cool because it was a Harley.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He also told another story where you guys happened upon the filming of Fresno Smooth, actually.
Oh yeah, when we were out at Glamis, we were coming from Supercross from like a dirt rider 24-hour test, and we were leaving the San Diego Supercross, and I remember we had to go to Indianapolis, so we had a little bit of time, and we had dirt bikes, and hell, we're from Ohio, we've seen Glamis, we've never been there, so we get to Glamis on a Monday, and there's nobody there, not a soul. As we're driving around looking for even a place to park, we happen across this really customized semi. And the dude in the semi had like blasters and banshees, and they didn't even have side by sides back then. This was the 90s. It was just shit like that. And he's giving us a little lay of the land. So we take off riding the next day, and up and down these razorbacks in these mountains and through the valleys. And it's fun, but there's no one there. So we don't know what to do or where the supposed big jumps really are, and we end up making our way out to this gas station. If anyone's ever been there, it would be like in the northeast corner of Glamis, and it's a gas station, and you walk in. Now this is back when those Biaffi helmets, you remember those things? They were real horrible. They were like $79. They were like $399 in this little gas station. If you needed a quart of oil, it was like $17. I mean, it was crazy. They had you. If you were there and you needed anything, they had you. So we're back there, and we were kind of laughing, and we're heading back, and we had gas at the truck, but we knew we were sort of getting low, and we weren't exactly sure if where we were at was the best place to be. And we're like, if we could just find a main road, then we'll know where we're at. So we just come up over this hill, and we're sitting there, and we're watching these two pickup trucks come hauling ass down the road. One of them has a number 1 bike in the back, and the other one has a black Honda in the back. And they kind of come pulling into the parking area real hot, get out of the truck. And so we're going to ride down just to see if they have a little bit of gas, just to make sure we get back to our truck before we pull off. And it was Jeff Emig and Seth Enslow, and then the guys that were filming for Fresno Smooth. So we're like, hey, what's up? And we knew them from Supercross. And they're like, what are you guys doing here? We're like, we're on our way to Indy, but we thought we'd check it out. And Fro's talking to Trevor, and he's like, you ready to hit that jump? He's like, which one? And he's like, that one. And we turn around and look. We're like, we still don't see it. Which one? And then he goes over, Jeff does, Emig, and hits this thing. I mean, you could hear him, how like when you hear somebody on the gas for like 25 seconds, just run, he's over this thing and lands, and we're like, holy shit, that's not what we were thinking,
Yeah.
So he comes back to Trevor, and he's like, you gonna go over? Trevor's like, what gear are you? And he goes, third. Everything you got in third, that's what it is. He goes, I don't know about that 400, because that's what he was riding, was the YZ 400. He goes, but I'm guessing it's probably the same. They're about, So Trevor kind of lines up behind Jeff and follows him up the face of it, and jumps it, and makes it perfect, and lands, comes back. He's like, holy shit, that's the biggest thing I've ever jumped in my life. And we're talking, and Trevor starts following him over, and Seth is just sitting there. And he's like, to me, he goes, you gonna jump that? I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna jump that thing. Well, what gear do you think they're in? I said, I heard him say third. You think they're in third? I'm like, I'm pretty positive he said third. Well, they come riding backward, and by now Trevor's probably jumped it 8 or 9 times. Obviously Emig's jumped it at least that many, if not a few more. And Seth is like, what gear are you in? What gear are you in? What gear are you in? They must have told him 100 times they're in third. He goes out, hits it in second.
No way.
That was it. Like, we could hear him. You're like, first, second, that's not third. And it's just ringing, and he goes off, and it ejects him out the front. He comes slamming down, just like you think he would do it. And that's how we ran into those guys at Glamis. And I'm pretty sure Trevor's got it on tape, because this was back when we were VCR and everything. Not your phone, nothing cool like that, like a big thing.
Yeah.
We ripped on a Sonic Burger overhang on that trip. I don't know. We did a bunch of things that didn't make as much sense now as they did then. Took the world's coldest shower, filled up the shower. We were pressure washing the van, the box van. So we filled up the shower. It was like filling it up with ice water. It was the coldest shower we ever had in our life. But, went country line dancing in Texas. You know.
I know. You get in
I
all
like how
kinds of situations.
Seth didn't disappoint.
Oh no! I mean, you know what? Super nice guy, and just, I mean, he stood there and asked. If he said it once, he said it 15 times. What year? And they kept telling him third, and he tried it in second. And that was it. Broke the face mask of his helmet off. It's like did damage to like shit that I've never seen broken like that, you know? Because he didn't make it even to the other side. Like he fell from the highest point to the lowest point, you know?
Fell like into the face of the landing almost?
No, like into the valley of the thing. Like it went real bad. It wasn't good.
But he got up?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you know, there wasn't no more riding after that. It wasn't like he was getting ready to go hit it again.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder
you gotta find that video.
Yeah, exactly. Huh? I wonder if that made it into the movie or anything.
You know what? I almost want to say that it didn't.
I talked to Adam.
He doesn't have a big crash in that movie, does he?
No, it's like a distance jump. Yeah, but it's not a sand.
No, this wasn't. I mean, it was. He didn't go long enough on this one.
No, that jump was different. That was a jump in Vegas that Hart had, the one that's actually in the opening of the movie. So it's definitely not a dune. I'd have to ask him if they even have that footage.
I'm guessing they do. There was, you know, I don't remember even who the guys shooting the cameras were at the time. That was just new. All that video stuff, you know, the you know, sit around and watch Krusty Demons and Fresno Smooth and, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's just mid-90s when Fresno was filmed, like 94 or something like that.
Yeah, this would have been a little bit later than that, than 94. This would have been like 90, 96, 97. Well, the YZ400, it was real early 97 because the YZ400 had just come out. This was like the first one that we could get our hands on.
You know, that's when it was filmed. It came out in 99, but it was filmed in like 96, 97. So you're right.
Okay.
Now that I think about it. Remember, because we made that intro, it was all 1999 stuff. But he said it took him like a year or two to get the thing out.
Yeah, it was a whole different way to show everything from the music to just everything. That was all those fur suits and the fur sport bikes and all that shit.
Well, apparently those.
I remember going to like some freestyle parties, and they were based on a party. They'd bring like some sort of ramp to somebody's house and like jump over half their house and like land just a little bit past a swimming pool or something. You know,
safe stuff.
It was good times.
Sounds
back
like
in
a good 90s. Time.
Shit's changed for sure. You don't do that now.
No, not really. Just
they have full compounds at their house. No one had that. You just had a ramp.
Yeah.
And hopefully the yard fell away nice enough you could use that as the landing, you know.
And you
remember when backflips were getting real popular, right?
Yep.
So there's a kid back in this way. He was backflipping a TTR 90.
The black flip.
Yep, and we were doing to flat, no landing.
What was his name again?
You know, off of like a 8 or 9 foot tall ramp to flat, landing on a TTR 90.
What was his name?
Name was Aaron.
Right.
I'm drawing a blank on his last name right now.
We had him at Youngstown for one of my. We did amateur freestyle motocross contests for years.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he would have been down there. I mean, he could stick to things every time.
Well, he was the only mini bike guy. He was the only one flipping at the time. We all rode big bikes, but nobody flipped. So we brought him in to flip at the event. That was the only flip we had was him.
I'm bummed I can't remember his last name. He's really good friends with Freddie Noren. Real good friends with Freddie. When Freddie was first come to America, his wife's from back here, Freddie's wife. When he first came here, he was racing arena crossing, and that was his mechanic. I can't think of his last name right now. That sucks. Anyways, he's a good guy. Yeah, he backflipped a mini bike to flat.
Yeah.
Time after time after time, you know, just do it. They took him over to France to do it to one of those, I think to Bercy or something. Eric Bernard took him over way back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
He should have just gone the big bikes. He'd have been the man. He'd have been so early in
I
the
don't know if
game.
he ever did any tricks on big bikes. I really don't.
I never heard of him again after we had him. And honestly, I've totally forgotten until you just brought it up. And then I was like, oh, shit, I remember that. Dude, he had like a stuffed animal or something zip
Like a
tied
Tweety
to
bird.
zip tied to his number or his chest protector.
Chest protector. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's yeah, there's definitely been some from the Mad Mike Jones there. I mean, hell, I remember going to some races where the intermission show were hill clickers. Like I said, just a real, I don't want to say remedial tricks, because I mean the knack back then was a proper freestyle trick.
Yeah. I'd see now we'll get into some freestyle politics. Nick loves the heel clicker, but I think I think they're stupid. But a knack is still at least a technical trick. Like knacks are still kind of gnarly, and if you can whip your bike out and get all turned around, they're still sick.
Necks are hard.
I mean, the progression that I remember from the real early days, and the Warp Tour, all that stuff. I mean, even when the Metal Militia was just really getting started out, the get a CR, cut all the plastic, make it black, open up the air box, whack the seat, roll the levers up as high as you could. I mean, just look pissed off, I mean, the whole time that was your deal. And like with Trevor, he and I talked a lot, and he was on the Warp Tour. They were, they couldn't quite understand, excuse me, why he didn't kind of go with them in the whole Metal Militia side of things. Go black, just be pissed why we can't get no help. And he and I had been talking quite a bit, almost daily on the phone. And I'm like, and I wasn't necessarily the biggest freestyle fan. I said, but every time I've seen you guys jump up into the ceiling, and the ceiling's black, and you have black clothes on, and you're on a black bike, and you blend into the ceiling. I go, I don't know, it's less impressive maybe. So he always kind of stayed more motocross rather than I think he wore LBZ for a little bit, which was kind of funny, but I think he went right back real quick.
Yeah,
but yeah, I didn't,
or something.
But hey, those guys parlayed that Metal Militia shit into some big smoke. So Link Kogel and Deegan and the boys, nice job.
Yeah, for sure. No, Trevor, I liked that Trevor had his own deal, and he was like, and I even said this weekend, his house is the same way as Trevor's shit has always been, like dialed. Like everything's good. Everything's like, you know what I mean? Looks good.
You know why
place.
Though? There's so many guys that are motocross guys that don't know how to work on shit. They couldn't change the oil in their car. They just don't do it. And Trevor's one of those guys that can do it. He can drive the bulldozer. He can fix the Steiner when it breaks. He can, the things that, if you're going to have something nice, you have to know how to make it nice and keep it nice. You can buy something nice, but people that don't know how to do shit, if they buy something nice, before long, it's not that nice usually anymore.
Yeah.
If they use it,
But that's what
his
I mean.
stuff's nice because he knows how to make it nice, keep it nice, and,
Listen, I can fix shit, but I don't keep it clean like he does.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just when you guys were there, did his dad pull out his car?
No, I didn't see his dad at all, actually.
His dad has a Shelby GT 350 that he bought brand new. Still has it. He'll pull the thing out of the garage on like a snowy day up there, just so people driving by lose their mind when they see a Shelby sitting in the driveway while it's flurrying.
Yeah.
He'll wait till there's a dirt bike race and get in it and drive it back to the dirt bike track 50, 60 miles an hour down that gravel road. He looks like Bronson pulling back in there.
Awesome.
Own the car forever. He goes, it's my car. I'll drive it any way I want.
Yeah. Fuck it.
I drove this thing in the winter its whole life. He goes, come on, man.
That's probably why Trevor's so dialed.
Yeah, I mean, when you're around stuff that, you just know how to do stuff. If you don't, and then you got to wait on people to get it done, and usually it, doesn't quite come the way you like it. You've seen all those little ponds with all the rocks. And beaches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
that's not a fun job to do that. He did that shit by hand.
And he's pretty far away from anything, honestly. Like, so to get help with anything, people to do anything, I'm sure they're coming from far away, There's not just people right around the corner. It's 15 miles to get coffee. You know?
Yeah, I mean, where you have a coffee maker, you just make it yourself.
Well, I
Such a
didn't. I
diva.
wasn't just rummaging through his house
Such a
to make
coffee snob, huh?
Well, no, I went to the
If
gas
it's not
station.
a car trip, he can't even think about having a coffee, huh?
Dude, I went to a gas station and I got coffee. It was the worst coffee that I could have gotten.
He's
And,
not a total snob. He came to my hotel to get continental breakfast coffee.
yeah, and it ended. What do we have for continental breakfast? An English muffin and coffee.
Wrapped in
Were
its own.
you up at the Quality Inn up there?
I think you
Is that what it
were,
is?
weren't you? Or was it a
Is that what it was called?
Hilton? No, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure.
It might have been. It was nice.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It was
Oh, yeah.
sanitized. There was
Oh,
arrows
for
on the
sure.
floor.
We're clean in the OH10.
Ohio's always nice.
Yeah, we're the salt of the earth here.
You're
I
wherever.
lived in
We're leaders of men, in Ohio.
I lived in Columbus for a summer, and there was Honda
That's
Hills
not real
down there.
Ohio down there.
You're in fucking fake Ohio.
It's only real if you got Amish people rolling out on your property.
Oh, I mean,
They showed up for the whip contest.
hey, they'll come get some Millers and some Yoders. They'll come storming by there.
Yeah, we were filming the whip contest, and in the background there was a buggy with a
It was
horse.
perfect.
As it should be, trotting out there. I love their style, man. They don't pay no taxes, handle their own business. They're good.
I keep trying to tell Boyson they need to deliver parts by Amish buggy, but they said they've never done it yet.
Do it.
I was like, if somebody needs that
There's got to be
shit.
some loopholes there they could be working.
Yeah, cross town in the snow. What's gonna get you there?
For sure.
Horse
They
and
got
buggy.
this play.
You know who's not sweating it right now? The Amish.
No.
They could give a shit.
Oh, they're fine. They ain't got no air conditioning, but they ain't sweating it either.
Well, that's why when it goes out and we're all freaking, they're like, this is just normal.
Yeah, got some wool underwear on, get them hanging out on the line. That's good stuff.
That's who's surviving when shit goes down, because they're just like, we've been living off the land the whole time. You idiots been going to the supermarket.
It's funny. You go out in some cornfields out there, and there's still payphones in the middle of cornfields.
Oh, yeah.
Like proper payphones. The little one, you put some quarters in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most people don't even know how to use those.
So how many people are we going to have watch tonight? You think we can move the needle on the Fight TV app and get some people signed up for our Flat Track Fight Club, where we take the world of flat track racing and bring Jared Mees and Jay Springsteen and the rest of the legends of the sport together and have a battle out on Taco Astros to find out who the baddest dude in the land is?
In 5
Going
days,
for another
23
championship
hours.
belt.
We're going to find out. We're going to try to, I'll post that up and I'll push these on the social media platforms as well.
Yeah, you guys ought to be an affiliate for us.
Yeah, we'd be down with
Do
that. For sure.
I'll have my guy get a hold of you. You'll be sweet. You'll be able to buy right here on the thing, and then you become an affiliate. You get paid.
Speak to me.
I just did. I told you you're going to become one. Say, I'm down. I'll have you swear the Flat Fight Club mantra down here. You're in. You're down like 4
Gotta
o'clock.
do it. You guys are so Fight Club that I was seeing Fight Club stuff, not aware that I was watching Fight Club
See
stuff
that?
on Instagram.
You were too.
That's us.
See, you were annoyed by the spelling, weren't you, Nick? You and your teacher wife. You guys are like, oh my God, what Clint
It did
write
take
this?
me a minute to get to the website. I was on some other MMA. I'm like, I don't see any dirt bikes on this.
You were like, did Clint write this out? Why is it all spelt wrong?
We were trying to be clever with the MFK.
Oh, that's
but I won't forget it now.
Now you won't forget it. See that?
Club with a K.
Yeah, you're bringing that. Now, where'd you go to college at?
yeah, about that.
Little bits of nowhere.
Okay, all right.
Did some Michigan kind of men's community
All
college.
right, hold your hand up and show me where in Michigan you were. Okay, all right.
I'm trying to remember how Michigan. I'm in Illinois, so
This is a hilarious thing that you two guys know
But yeah.
about.
I was here.
That's how
Muskegon.
Michigan does it, I got everything going on there. Where's the UP at up there?
Yeah, is that Scott Murray's
Yeah.
all the way
7 hours away.
above the
What's
middle
crazy
finger?
is the UP was Ohio, and we needed a port, so we traded them Toledo for it. As soon as we did, they found the biggest gold strike ever up there. Nice.
No way.
For sure. Just because I spelled club with a K doesn't mean I'm not a smart, educated man. You go home and tell your wife I'm a smarty pants.
I am. I'm gonna tell. She was teaching the kids about states today. Now they're gonna learn
All right.
something.
You're gonna be like, you know how stupid Ohio was? They traded this, and then Michigan, all
We
this
just
money.
needed port down there. Yeah, it was a
To
bad trade.
Michigan. Michigan got hustled by Michigan. That's a tough
Yeah,
one.
who
to-
knew Michigan was that smart?
Why do you think we hate the Wolverines so much?
Yeah.
The Buckeyes.
Yo, is what's his name? Is Ryan Sipes gonna be in every one?
We have to actually come up with some kind of event that he's never done. He's
That he
never
can't
road
do.
raced. He said he wants to road race real bad. I
What?
have a road race coming up later this year.
Yeah.
I've had every odd thing you could do. I've managed to talk Wayne Rainey into letting me have a Harley Davidson bagger road race at Laguna Seca. It was supposed to be in July, but with the whole COVID thing, we got moved back to October, but we'll be able to have fans. So there'll be a bagger road race there.
Nice. Basically, you lean over until your bag's hit, and then that's as far as you can turn.
Well, so if you know much about Harleys, I mean, have you seen them
Yeah.
the last maybe 10 years or so?
Yeah.
The whole thing was the big giant front wheel and the down and back bag. So the whole thing was all an inch off the ground while it was sitting there.
Yeah.
And a bunch of the Dyna guys started doing it. So instead of lowering them, they were going to 14-inch shocks. Instead of lowering the front forks, they were going 2 over, putting mid-mount controls, carbon fiber, titanium exhausts, way more aggressive handlebar ergonomic setups. Now, they're not going to be nowhere near as fast as, let's say, a 600, but they have a way better chance of getting around there than they did just 6 months ago with what the custom crowd was doing.
Right.
So they're pretty cool.
What are they running? Like, what size motors? Like the 104s or the big ones?
Well,
or?
so the stock motors that come in them are a 117, a 114, or a
Yep.
107 in the new M8s. These guys will probably have 131s in them.
Woo.
I mean, it's big suspension, big swing arm. Like I said, a lot of real expensive bikes. They'll have probably easily close to $100,000 in most of the bikes.
Oh, I can tell people, and I've ridden a lot of bikes, and I get to test the bikes at the shop, and those 114s will fucking move. So I could imagine
Oh, these things
what
are,
they got
like
going on.
the one I have in the garage right here right now is a 124. It's got, I got to have it at least 100 pounds or more underweight. And there's some other guys that have already knocked probably close to 200 pounds off of it.
Wow.
Taking the whole subframe off that's metal, making it out of either injected molded plastic or chromoly or even aluminum, just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Making the bags out of carbon fiber, everything like that, the fenders. I mean, the front fender on my bike, the stock one was 17 pounds.
Uh-huh.
The one on my bike now is 4 ounces.
Wow. What is it,
Wow.
carbon?
The dash panel on it was, I think, 6.5 pounds. That's 4 ounces. So it's just, there's no, it's tons and tons of weight. The stock muffler, I think, the dual pipe with the catalytic converter was like 37 pounds. I have a full titanium pipe that weighs 4 pounds.
Wow.
Wow, that's huge.
It's taken off insane weight
Yeah.
like that,
Not even the
Jeez.
same bike.
No, and that's how the street stunt guys are able to kind of push them to the limits they are too right now.
So that's not a stock motor, right? You had a
No, of course not.
Yeah. 17's the biggest that they make stock, correct?
They sell a 131 now.
Oh,
They sell
okay.
it. You can bolt it in complete, or you can buy a kit and bolt it in.
Got
But
it.
what's funny is the kit's cheap, but when you add up all the labor, it's easier just to buy the motor. It's
Right.
cheaper to pull the clutch off the motor out and put it in.
Right. Yeah, I work at a shop. We end up having Harleys and stuff in there as well.
Yeah.
So I get to test them all and work on them a little bit. But yeah, those 114s and shit are no joke. It's stock. So I can imagine you guys pump them up and shave all that weight off. I bet it's gnarly.
Yeah, big throttle bodies, big injectors, pistons, cams. A lot of the M8s had an oiling problem, so there's some different cam plates and things. But yeah, they run pretty good when you get them sorted out.
Yeah, and
Just
you
like
got
anything.
like a power commander or whatever. Yeah, it's not like
What
buying.
it's funny, people I used to with Parts Unlimited, we had to be brand managers, and I had Power Commander. What a Power Commander is essentially a jet kit for fuel injection.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the way it sounded, people were buying it thinking they put a Power Commander on their bike. Shit's about to go to a new level.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you do a cam, air cleaner, pipe, anything? No. I'm like, you just tuned your stock motor.
Yeah.
Well, but it's called a Power Commander. I'm like, well, yeah, if you do something, you can make it do what it's supposed to, but it doesn't make your bike faster just by the only bike that it ever made faster, just bolting it on, the TL1000S. That's why the Power Commander was invented. That thing was so poorly calibrated that they had to do something. And when they figured out how to crack it and do it, they're like, shit, it's all the same.
Yeah.
But that bike, if you put one on, it'll physically go better than with just that.
Yeah. I mean, we do have bikes come in that just don't run well, and then they get them to sort them out. But yeah, you're not adding power. You're just pretty much, like you said, basically jetting it, cleaning it up so it runs correctly. So, what are you looking at, Nick? You look like you're studying.
I'm looking for replays of the Fight Club. I just found it.
There you go.
Because I didn't see it. So now that's my next goal is to get Dad and go watch this race.
So now after Flat Track Fight Club, what do you have? You have a mini bike race later in the year, you said?
Well, we got things that, like I said, a lot of people, we have a monster truck show coming up.
Oh, that's right.
Which is something that is real unique to me. I mean, I've been around it in the passing glance, but being around, they're nice guys. I mean, they know what they're doing. If we could get, some of the guys in motocross being as friendly on the mic as those guys are, they really know how to engage the crowd or the people watching at home.
Who do you have monster truck wise?
What's trucks?
Trucks or drivers or I rode at Monster Jams forever.
Joe Silvestri's kind of heading that up, and he's in the Bad Habit.
Okay.
I think that's what his truck's called, Bad Habit. But then he has a group of guys, and he also has another division of monster trucks that have these 48-inch wheels. They're supposed to have 2,000 horsepower, smaller wheels, and then maybe even some micros. That's kind of to be seen how he orchestrates that whole thing with him, but I'm sure he'll do a good job. Yep, there they are.
Cool. Yep. Yeah, I've been around road monster jams obviously forever because that's basically where most of the motocross, freestyle stuff was at for a long time. So.
Yep. Oh, there they are. Samson, Stinger, Rap Attack, Pretty Wicked, and Bad Habit. I think there's a few more trucks, but those are the ones that are confirmed right now.
Yep. I can't help but go, Samson, whenever I see that truck.
Oh, you should. Rick Steffens.
I know, but that's from Half Baked, where they're like, tell him Samson called or whatever.
He debuted that bad boy in 1983.
Yeah, dude, that Samson's been around for a long ass time. Patrick, what's the original guy's name? Isn't it Patrick something? Patrick Stevens or something?
His chassis from Patrick Enterprises.
Yeah, I think I thought somebody else owned the truck originally, maybe. I don't know. So many trucks. Who the hell knows? Anything else? Any other Fight Club stuff? You doing freestyle? Do we need to do that?
Well, there's so many things that are on the table right now, and we're trying to be a little bit selective. We're not trying to do normal things that, would just be like, oh, well, that was kind of, I could see that anywhere. We're trying to bring some things that are unique. But yeah, we have some things on the table. If you wouldn't mind, I mean, anytime we get something, maybe we could come on and bullshit about it.
Absolutely. I like the premise of the old school guys, like basically, even if it's not a good match anymore or whatever, having Stanton and Bradshaw lined up next to each other, epic.
We've kind of talked about how moving forward we can incorporate it. And when we do the 2.0, there will for sure be some twists. It'll be the same format, but it'll just have a few twists that go, oh, okay, maybe that makes a little more sense right now. So that's the plan.
Yeah, but I liked you guys bringing people out that weren't necessarily just, racing right now. And I'm sure schedule wise and training and all that, that was a kind of a thing. But I think it worked out good. It was good to, see Stanton and Bradshaw back at it again, and Villapoto and Alessi, who've battled just as long as Bradshaw and Stanton. So it was cool.
Well, I mean, I've never understood this, and I've been around the industry a long time. We do a great job of creating these mythical creatures, whether it's Ricky Carmichael or Ryan Villapoto or Chad Reed or a lot of the guys, and they retire. Now, Reed's a little different scenario, but most of them are in their late 20s. They're traditionally pretty healthy. They've had themselves in world-class shape probably as early as 6 months prior to this. And then we as an industry struggle to find things for them to do, I mean, we do dealer events, we do fan events. These people are perfect for that. Like, I love the 125 races at the Nationals, and I wish they had a class for the kids, and then they had another class of 12 or 13 guys just for the legends.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see the Golden Gloves kid knock out Mike Tyson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Buster Douglas wants to knock out Mike Tyson, that's great. I'll let Mike Alessi and Ryan Villapoto race every day. I'll watch it. I just don't want to see him get beat by a kid who has everything to gain and nothing to lose by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his mindset. I mean, you could imagine back at the camper the night before, the dad is he'd have to be rabid getting the kid pumped up for this opportunity.
You're going to beat Villapoto. You're going to beat, you know what I mean? Whoever.
I've seen him drink his 5th beer.
Yeah.
And,
it's
he's out there to have a good time and hang with the
Exactly.
boys. And, and that's what they want to do. And these other people are obviously there to establish themselves and make a living eventually. And I wish them luck. I just,
Yeah.
It's
And
a
it's nice
different.
I think the recently retired, or even in this case with some of these guys, the formerly retired guys, are still a treasure to put around.
Yeah.
They
And
still
all
know
those
how
guys
to-
they've been training since they were, little kids.
And you don't
yeah, and
forget.
if you do one lap, I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Every race is serious. Now they finally get to actually, still race, but enjoy the whole event.
And that was, kind of like at the end of that event. I mean, it wasn't a nice night as far as 90 degrees and sunny. It was 50 and cold. Drip, dipping. These guys stood around for hours just talking to each other because they're not going to see each other for a while. And a lot of them, they hadn't seen each other for years. And, it was just, a chance to kind of, and they weren't being pulled away at that time by, some folk that wanted a picture or something. They were just able to bullshit. It was really something kind of cool.
How about just the dynamic of then having Bradshaw and Stanton together, removed from this stuff so far, and even Villapoto and Alessi, because those guys, for all intents and purposes, hated each other during their actual pro careers.
Bradshaw and Stanton never really hated each other. They actually even rode for the same company. They both rode for Axo, the clothing thing. They really didn't like Bale, both of them.
I actually did.
Because obviously Bale had, a little bit of a different deal. He just, he didn't fit in with those guys.
Yeah.
But
no, and that's right. And Stanton and Bradshaw, they rode together at some point early on when Bradshaw was real young or something, didn't they? I thought
Jeff and Bradshaw?
Yeah, I think that.
I mean, Stanton was a Yamaha support rider for a little bit.
Yeah.
David Bradshaw was always like the YZ80 kid.
Yeah.
Turns pro, wins right away. I mean, for sure is supposed to be the next deal. Won the 125 East title in '89, and then really
wasn't that his
went
rookie year
into a massive battle with Mike Kudrowski for the 125 title. And Kudrowski was, number 762 or something like that, and he ends up winning the damn title. Bradshaw is supposed to be, and he never went back and defended it, and he moved up to the 250s right away, and didn't quite go the way he wanted. But yeah, Bradshaw and Stanton are actually cool. They know they're better together than they are apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to see Bradshaw, you want to see Stanton too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got to meet Bradshaw. I helped with the Pulp MX show in New Jersey, and
Okay.
I actually got to I opened for them with comedy, and I was hanging around because I set the thing up. So I ended up talking to Bradshaw and having like a 5-10 minute conversation. And as a kid that started watching Supercross in '89, you know, like he was the man, and he was super cool. It was awesome to get to sit there and just have a little conversation.
He's still really super cool. I mean, we've been pretty lucky to use him at a mini bike race and at this thing. And both times he's been just top shelf. I mean, what you need, he does. The way he works with the crowd, the way he can still ride a bike. I mean, everything about him's, you know, really, really special.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been able to meet Stanton, but like I said, being able to meet Bradshaw, that was sick. And a lot of times you don't want to meet these people because then they disappoint
Stanton's
you.
funny. Stanton's a wedding planner.
Nuh-uh.
Real?
And always just
Yeah.
posting I guess he's
Wedding planner, raises exotic deer, you know,
Yeah,
the
I was
big
gonna
high price ones that you'd sell to a thing. Oh yeah, he's funny. Bicycle rider extraordinaire. He does it all.
Yeah. He seems rad. I follow him on Instagram. He's always hunting and riding bikes and vintage bikes and this and that.
Oh, he doesn't not ride. He rides a lot.
That's awesome. Dude, that's the best when people are past their career and they're still just like enjoying riding. It sucks to watch somebody get burnt out and then just basically kind of step away from it, you know?
I think you get burned out when you're racing, and usually it takes a while to stuff. And then it's just some buddies that want to go ride. And that's usually what gets you riding again, is just doing something like, and for these guys, Stanton had told me, for instance, that the mini bike race at Chicago, and this was the last thing he was doing. He's done. Like, I'm not helping you anymore. I'm done. I said, okay. And when we were done, when's the next one? I'm like, are you done? I'll do these. I could do a lap and a half all day long. I could do these. I was like, okay, you could do these.
You know, that's what it is, huh? He still wants to be competitive, but when it gets into these things where you got to train too long, you know, like for a 20-minute motor or some shit like that, they're like, don't have the time or the enthusiasm to put in it. But a dude like that, like how competitive was Stanton through his whole career? Like super competitive. That's still in there.
An absolute warrior. I mean, He went there just to be a savage.
Yeah, and that's still in there.
For sure. I mean, you just watch him, you watch him in this thing. He was, Bradshaw, unfortunately, was on a YZ450 and Jeff was on a CR250.
Yeah, it's a difficult.
And Damon but you could see Jeff was trying to get inside him. And if he could have, he would have hit him. It would not have not hit him. He would have hit him for sure. And he just couldn't get the pass made, but he tried.
Yeah. I would expect nothing less. That's what I would want from Bradshaw Stanton.
Yeah.
You need to get chicken in Bradshaw so that way someone's going off the track next time. I guarantee you chicken still go fast.
They did that race before. Did you know that?
No, when?
At the U.S. Open probably 10 or 12 years ago. And they did a couple of them. The one they did Emig and LaRocco and Damon Huffman. And then the next year they did Bradshaw and Matasevich.
Did they run into each other?
It wasn't close.
Who won?
Oh, Damon killed him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't close at all.
I thought Chicken went to like World Vets or something, did pretty good like not too long ago. I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. I don't know. But
yeah, this was way before the Monster Cup. This was the U.S. Open.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was that long ago.
Yeah.
He did good enough. I remember Damon did good enough. They had some lap times. He would have been like 6th quickest qualifier or something.
Oh, yeah.
So he was coming back. This is a return. All I need is, I need 1.5 million and I'm back.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a madman, dude. All those guys, like, it's so cool, like I said, that you brought some of those guys out that, we grew up watching, and little nostalgia for a fun race. That's a good, like we were talking about earlier. It's good. You stepped out of the box, out of the same lane as everybody, and made something entertaining and fun for people to watch.
And that's kind of like, I love entertainment. I like the aspect of it. I've been pretty lucky for many, many years. I've got to be in front of the crowd, and you see when they're pumped and going out of their mind, and then you see when you say or something's about to happen where they're like, oh, great, So I like to think that I'm using my experience to give them what they want. And so far, it's been very early, but so far it's working out.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a great idea, and yeah, we'd definitely like to be a affiliate or a partner or whatever. And
no, I'll have my guy get a hold of you tomorrow.
Perfect. Yeah, and then
got a guy.
He's got.
I got guys.
All right, when you do the freestyle one, I at least need to be paparazzi.
You're gonna be some paparazzi.
Yeah, at the very least, I need to be there interviewing people.
Hey, I told you I had a delivery coming here. I got to get it. My dogs are going nuts.
All right.
The timing was impeccable.
Yeah. You can head out if you want to. I appreciate you coming on, and dude, it's been great. And let's keep in touch, and we'll let everybody know about your events coming up.
Don't forget, man, we got Flat Track Fight Club coming up. Monday's the round table, Tuesday's the race. Tune in, and I'll let you know when we do the freestyle.
Hey, July 4th. I just talked to Trevor yesterday. We're doing another ride day at Trevor's, so you better come out.
I'll see you there.
All right, perfect.
All right, everybody.
Right. Later, Rob. Thank you.
Cheers.
Yep.
He's not going to.
We're going to get to watch him eat.
Yeah, just shut your camera off, Rob. I'll kick him out of here.
Such a
remove. You got removed, bro. No, I just canceled it. Remove. Okay. Boom! I kicked you out of the room, bro.
Beat it.
I'm like a bouncer.
Talking about Fight Club too much is the first rule.
Yeah, this fucking guy. All he does, his first rule is talk about Fight Club.
Hey, we gotta get on here and talk about Fight Club some more.
It's the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite of the original Fight Club. That's why it's spelled wrong.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. We should. I was just thinking about this. I don't know what you're doing, but Supercross starts in 1 hour.
Oh, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
I'm actually talking shit to Wagner right now.
Well, I can't. For everybody, well, if you're a fan of ours, you know that Nick's an asshole. So he's just been harassing Wygant about wearing his mask on Supercross.
He responded.
Did he? What'd he say?
Because I was saying he works for Disney.
Yeah.
And he's like, was that when I worked as a janitor at Disney World in '98?
So to give you some backstory, when I was watching Supercross, I'm sending Nick pictures
Shameful.
of all the mechanics 6 feet apart with their fucking masks on. Here's my thing.
How ridiculous.
They were all tested. Everyone was tested. They're all quarantined in Utah now for the next 3 weeks. Then they get their temperatures taken every time they enter the stadium. They have to stay 6 feet apart and wear a mask. Like, I think
it's infuriating.
We're getting a little bit silly.
Why are they not? They're not skipping every other gate.
Do you see that?
Right?
Exactly.
Does that bell, the little foam in the bell helmet, apparently stops coronavirus.
It's fine.
And then
athletes don't get it.
Interview them with a microphone that's like on a fucking.
That's what I was going to say.
Stick.
No,
So
they have a mic stand, and the announcer is just like 15 feet away at the other end of the fucking stage.
I'm so frustrated because this is clearly a giant publicity stunt. They want to take away from the fact that they're selling diabetes in a can with a green M on it.
How about when they'll have the announcer people like on the floor, like me standing here by myself with a mask on. There's nobody even around them. They're the only one in the shop.
It's race gas all around them, killing all the germs. It's the dude. I can't even get into it because it's so over the top. And I get, we're just doing our job. All right, you are, but part of your job is just being a giant publicity stunt to go along with the fact that everybody says coronavirus is what they say it is, and we know it's bullshit.
Here's what I've come to the conclusion of, Nick. I've never made it further in careers because I've always been exactly like you're talking about.
Yeah, good.
I'm always like, that's stupid. What the fuck are you guys doing? That's bullshit. And I should have just been you're right.
Weignet's already at the top of his game. Like, not that he can't do better, but he's the top guy. No one's gonna get rid of him.
Dude.
He's got a voice.
If all of a sudden he's like the only guy on the broadcast without a mask.
Get him and Math is fucking bitching about nets and corners and stuff. He fucking still made it. Here, if we make it to Supercross next week and we don't wear the mask, yeah, nobody ever hears from us again. But if Wagner doesn't, they're like, well, Jason's not here.
We need way more followers before anybody's bringing us to Supercross without a mask.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because all of a sudden we get a bazillion followers, and then Feld and Disney and ABC would wipe them all out, or whoever runs it. It's clearly probably, dude, everybody's marching, right?
I know. The exact same people that were like, we need to stay home because Corona is now like, protesters for justice. And I'm like, are they not going to die? Are you sending these people to die? What is going on?
Not this time.
Not this time. For justice, you don't catch a virus if you're fighting for justice.
They're not going to go by their grandmas for 2 weeks because that's the only, they're going to kill their grandmas if they do. But right now, they got to fight for
This is justice. We turned into a different podcast. This is no carnival parking again.
I'm furious right now. I'm so upset. Let me check my blood pressure.
It is hilarious. Do you want to...
Seriously, though, until these 3 or 4 beers kicked in, I can't take a deep breath right here. Because when I was... The one time I'm riding by myself and I got squirrely, it started like high-siding, and then I saved it, and then it started high-siding. It did that like 4 times, and then I hit that tree. The bars slapped me in the chest one of those times, and it's like, I take a deep breath, and it feels like my ribs fucking...
Not even from the tree? You took a handlebar in the chest that hard from a swap?
Yeah, dude, because I fought it from probably like 30 feet. You could see my marks like swapping. And by the time I got to the tree, I was at a dead stop. So the bike hit the tree, and I popped off, and I never hit the ground. I was on my feet. But in that fight against trying not to die, the clutch perch hit me right in the fucking, right below my boob, dude. And it wasn't bad. And then I lifted some heavy shit. Not working out, obviously, but just some things. And now it's like, now it feels good because the beer's, doing its job. But like yawning or laughing or having a sneeze, that really sucks.
Yeah, I've been there. I bet you bruised your cartilage or something.
I think so, because it's like in between them,
Yep. I bruised my cartilage in between my sternum and my rib cage. Holy shit, dude.
I've done the sternum before. That's a while.
Well, they said it was just the cartilage in between. It wasn't even like my sternum was bruised. It was just the cartilage. But still, when I coughed, I had to I was telling this story the other night. I had to hold my ribs in and be like...
Yeah.
I was like my own little...
I was trying to cough in front of Christy earlier, and I was like...
Yeah,
like
hold
now
your
I can
ribs.
do it because I got a little buzz, but...
Hold them.
I look like... Huh?
Squeeze them with your arms.
And it feels like I can feel it in the back, like it's my lung, but...
Oh, like, dude, have you laid down on your back on something hard? Do your ribs poke out?
No, that Christy had that, dude.
Where
her rib popped out?
Yeah.
We thought she had like, I don't know, a kidney infection for a while. Then she thought it was like a lung thing. And then we went to our chiropractor friend. He's like, it's your rib. And fixed it.
I popped like 2 out. And I thought my ribs were broken. It's when I broke my collarbone. And because I went like, I hit something and it just, my back end jacked me and I just went over I didn't even let go, dude. I was just on the bar still. I thought it was going to set back down and it just went boom right to my face, going like 3rd gear. I tried to jump this 85-foot like tabletop and
75 foot.
No, it was 85. It was 3rd like wrapped, and they had put sawdust before it. So I kind of like, and I had a shit tire. You know how that goes. I was a freestyle guy at the time. So I'm all just bald tire,
suspension sucked.
Wrapped 3rd. Yeah. There was actually something wrong with this shock, I'm pretty sure. Because I rode it freestyle and I was supposed to flip, and I'm like, dude, I'm not flipping this fucking thing right now. I don't know what is wrong with it. And I took it and got the shock done. Actually, after I broke my collarbone. I rode it, didn't flip it. Then I took it to the track, broke my collarbone on it, and then I was like, okay, I got the suspension done. I can see there's something there.
What?
You're not doing a good job of hiding it. Whatever.
No, I'm filming these birds. So I moved because I was sitting over here.
Uh-huh.
I was sitting right there, and see that?
Yeah.
Right there is a bird's nest.
Mm.
And that's why I moved, because the mom was staring at me with worms in her mouth.
She was like, "Get out of the way! I need to feed. It's dinner time, you asshole." Get out of the way.
So she finally just came up and started feeding her birds. Look at. No, I'm filming these birds. Oh shit! Me talking.
So, got it.
Look at that nature.
Nature. Oh my god, it's so cute. So first lap I just jumped onto the tabletop, jumped off. Second lap, I did the same thing, and then when I jumped off of the tabletop, there was like, oh no, maybe first lap I jumped off of the tabletop and I hit this bad braking bump, and it like stood me up real hard. So then the second lap I went all the way to the right and just jumped on the tabletop and pinned it and jumped off and was fine. Third lap, I tried to jump it, which set me right in the exact same line that I was in the first time when I hit the bad kick. But now I cased the tabletop and bounced off of it directly into those bumps. And it was like flat, and then there was those bumps, and then it kind of like went down into the turn. So when I hit the bumps, I thought it was going to stand me back up, but like the ground fell away enough that I just went all the way over to my face. And I never even took my hands off the bars or anything. I had
that's the worst.
Just kind. As far back as you could go, like trying.
This is a suicide attempt.
Yeah, just tried to stop it. I was just all wham right to my face, and fucking I had a neck brace on, and it broke a full like inch and a half out of my collarbone. Like I'm pretty sure the neck brace like broke it out, and my ribs hurt. But I'm like, I broke my ribs. Like they're gonna fucking ace bandage them or whatever. So I'm like, I'm not spending another $1,400 on these 2 x-rays they're about to do on them. So I don't get the x-rays. And like for 2 weeks, same thing. I can't like, if I lay on my back, it feels like there's a Rubik's Cube right next to my spine, like inside my back. And my ribs kind of stuck out. So I thought for sure they were broke. Well, 2.5 weeks later, I'm doing something and I sneeze. And at first I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. That actually feels better. And then I was like, dude, they went back in. 2.5 weeks later. Me neither. That's
until Christy went for like a week with all this. She thought she had a kidney infection. She thought maybe it was a lung issue, had all these different deals. Then she thought she had a pinched nerve. And her friend's husband's a chiropractor. He's like, her ribs out. And I've never even heard of that.
Me neither.
And I went 2.5 weeks. Natural shit. But I was like, that doesn't even make sense.
They finally popped back in, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, as soon as it happened, I was with Lindsay at the house in Georgia. She was like sitting in the office. I'm like right at the doorway, and I was doing something. I sneezed, and I was like, ow. And then I turned, and I'm like, it feels better. And I go, I think my ribs were dislocated. Like I didn't even know it was a thing. But after the pain just went away and they were flat again, I'm like, I think you can dislocate your ribs. And she's like, what? So I Google it, and sure enough, that's like dislocated ribs.
What are you, a doctor, Clint? Did you find it out on the internet?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you find it out where all information ever is?
Well, no, God, we're really getting off topic now.
Yes.
I get yelled at, right? It's like, what are you, an internet? They're like, do your own research. And then when you do and you come up with something not what they said, they're like, what are you, an internet scientist? And I'm like, well, which one am I supposed to do?
I can't go to the library. It's shut down.
Am I supposed to be an internet scientist, or am I supposed to fucking listen to whatever you guys tell me? Like, tell me which one I'm supposed to do.
I tweeted Fauci. He said it was okay.
Dude. They're like,
yeah, but when you were talking about that rib, that week that happened, I think we had Cody Kavanaugh or something on, and you guys started talking about popping ribs out of place and how painful it was. And that, I'm like, this is the first time I ever heard it was with Christy. Both you guys start talking about it. I don't think that's what this is. I think the perch bruised it. But
well, I did both.
My attorneys are gonna be contacting Trevor shortly.
TV.
Oh, you know what? I fucking left my stand at Trevor's house.
Oh. Your dirt bike
I got that stand for free too.
Give it. I don't have a stand. I haven't had a stand for 5 years now. I could have used it.
Well, I didn't realize it till I got home, and then a day after I put my bike in the garage. I'm like, why am I leaning against the wall? No stand Saturday. I was committed.
You're just like me now. You're riding on the weekend, hanging your bike off a fucking tie down.
Just little like dents all over the truck.
People are like, didn't you used to ride for a living? I'm like, yeah, no motorcycle stands. I don't know. Just hanging it on this, just hooking it to this tie down because my truck's new. 5 more years, I'll be just leaning it on the side. There'll just be grip marks all over.
I leaned it on the side. I moved some of my graphics this weekend when I stuck my bike on there. All of a sudden I went back and my Better Business Bureau logo was like all smeared up and moved. Because getting in and out of the truck, it was moving the bars.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. You need to get better stickers.
You should get better stickers.
So this is now number 9 because number 9 at Trevor's, I tried to record through the internet, and the internet, go figure, in a flyover state is not good enough to record.
That's barely flyover.
Dude, let me tell you, the podcast we did with Trevor up there is like 15 minutes long. No. It's like we'll have a conversation and then it'll be like cut to like 2 minutes later. Like, like it'll be us talking and it'll just like jump to like a totally new conversation that we're having.
The one you posted on Facebook?
Yeah.
Is that why it was skipping like that?
Yeah, exactly.
My dad thought you edited it just to show Trevor's lady friend smoking in different positions in the video.
I kept looking at that. Every time it would just cut to her just going. Every time it would cut.
He goes, dude, that was perfect. Did you make that?
Dude,
no, Clint put that up.
I tried to watch it to download it, and that's when because I was like, why does it only say 15 minutes? And then I realized, but I'm watching it, and it's the same thing. It's like her over here literally taking a drag, and then all of a sudden she's like, poof, onto this other, onto the bench, also taking a drag, and then next thing you know, she's like back in the chair, taking another drag, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Dude, the best part was Isaac comes out of Trevor's house with another water. I'm like, buddy, you got a water right there. Isaac's my 6-year-old son, by the way. So he's in Trevor's house fishing around in his fridge to get another water. He goes, somebody put another crayon in my water. I go over there. It's a cigarette. It is water. And then I look where she's sitting. There's a bottle just full of cigarettes. And she just put it in his water he was drinking.
Did he drink out of it after? Did he get a little nicotine buzz?
He looked. I told her, my dad told her he did. And then we said he started smoking. She's like, I'm a terrible person.
Like he now dips cigarettes. He just rips cigarettes open and sticks them in his lip.
That's what we went to. Because we're like, now he's one.
Oh, that's it. You got flown over now. You locked up finally. This is how every fucking show ends. With just somebody locking up. Look at his face. Look at his sour face all locked up. I'm going to look like Nick does right now. All right. We may be back. It's 9:12 right now. We might be back and watch Supercross live, bros. If I can talk him into it. See how much liquor he has over there. It's only 9 o'clock there for Supercross. 9, 10, 11. 10, 11, 12, 1. Is it 3 hours? I'm not going to make that. If it's 3 hours, I'm not making all of Supercross. So, but anyway, that was Rob Buydos. He does the Moto Fite Clubs and now flat track fight clubs. So, don't buy your shit yet. Wait until we're an affiliate, and then you buy it through our link. All right? All right? I'm going to be spamming you with that shit. Anyway, twowheelsofreedom.com. The Clint Files, I used to have that in this feed. It's coming back. I'm going to interview doctors and stuff, talk about healing techniques, nutrition, alternatives to regular pain medicine, stuff like that. We're going to get back on that. And I'm probably going to do it in the studio. Definitely have doctors on. I'm rambling at this point. 1 tequila drink. That's where we go. So maybe see you for Supercross in a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, well, if you're on the audio version, you're definitely not going to hear Supercross. So sorry. But next week, we'll be back. Later, guys. Thank you for listening. And honestly, if you have any opinions on anything, please let us know if we can make something better. Audio, video, blah, blah, blah. Hit us up. I would love to hear from you guys. And I do have a Patreon that I don't really mess with right now, but I'm thinking about some stuff, like maybe making it that if we or when we do any of those previews or premieres or viewing parties, you'd already basically be able to get into every one and maybe do some special podcasts. So I'll keep you guys informed. But once again, thank you. Subscribe, like, share it with your friends, whatever. Later.